Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Sastandandavat pranams and the lotus feet of our most worshipful Sri Gurudev. Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Bhat Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Swami Giri Maharaj, Garupanuga Guru Varga and all the Sangha Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So, now the glorification of Sri Mahadev still continues. Prabhuji is asking the question, in Ram Leela, how is Mahadev serving? Also in Krishna Leela and Mahaprabhu Leela. Also in Satyayug. So, just as Krishna has many manifestations, we know, we've heard how Mahadev, so many manifestations, and each one of them also have their speciality. So, in Ram Leela, although Shiva is in all time, is always there, but he has his specific manifestation in a certain Leela of Bhagavan. So in Ram Leela, then we have been told that he is Hanuman. And so we know how Hanuman is serving. And there's no doubt and no question about that. Hanuman is a very great sevak of Sri Ramachandra. Yes. Prabhuji is asking this. Prabhuji is asking a very difficult question. And really, I don't know anything about this. The only reason we know this because I heard from Gurudev saying like this. It's like, but I don't know. So this is a very good question because Prabhuji can explain this. So how we know this Hanuman is Mahadev, I don't know. I don't know, so like more. So anyways, so then in Krishna Leela also he's there as who is he? as being.
Somebody telling like this.
Yes, he's telling like it's being. And then now in this Kali Yuga also, we know in Mahaprabhu Leela then he's Advaita Acharya. But then even before that, he also combined both even Hanuman and Bhim as Madhvacharya, like this. So we know he's our Sampradaya Acharya. So that's how he's serving us also here. So in so many ways he's serving like this. So that's how far I know about this topic. I was asking this question, and now we can understand that this is an interesting discussion.
सृष्टि के समय से लेकर के जैसी सेवा किया उनका विशिष्ट क्या है कृष्ण लीला में राम लीला में महाप्रभु लीला में क्या विशिष्ट है उनकी सेवा
ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालयै कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुवरं श्रीरूपानुगप्रवरं व्रजरसं शरणालयं तं Shri Guru Charanam Vande Ramana Visthaya Bhutale Bhutale Bhakti Dacha Bhamurti Narayanam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Sadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare. First of all, respectful obeisances. At the lotus feet of our spiritual masters, Nitla Ishmael Bhaktivedanta Shri Narayan Sai Maharaj Shri Vadai, and Nitla Ishmael Bhaktivedanta Shri Vam Sai Maharaj Shri Vadai, and Taj Rupanagani Guru all the Vaishnavas, East Guardians, and everyone else present. The question that has been asked is, at the time of creation, how does Lord Shiva serve Krishna? And in his pastimes and in the pastimes of Sri Ram and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we hear that when Narad Rishi went to glorify Lord Shiva, stated by Sanatana Goswami in his Brihad Bhagavatam, that there was one particular grade of devotee that Narad Rishi would question and then he would proceed to another devotee. So first he asked this Brahmin in Prayag, and then gradually he proceeded. This Brahmin told him that, oh, I am not such a great devotee, you go to the king of South India. So then he went to the king of South India. And the king of South India told him that, oh, I am not such a great devotee. Because whoever I'm feeding, it's all only by the grace of opulence, which I've inherited. So if you really want to find someone who can serve our Prabhu with Aishwarya, then go to Indra. This way they sent him to Indra. And then Indra said, if you really want to find someone who's greater than me, serves more intimately, then go to Brahma. Then Brahma in this way. Then after that, Brahma sent him to Lord Shiva. So then when Narad Rishi met Lord Shiva there in Kailash, so there Narad Rishi started glorifying Lord Shiva in so many different ways. That you serve our Prabhu, Bhagavan, in so many wonderful ways, and none can serve like how you can. And that's when Narad Rishi started saying how Lord Shiva, when the ocean was being churned, then first poison appeared in this ocean. And then Lord Shiva himself came and he drank this poison, this kalkut fish. And then when he drank this poison, we know what happened. His throat turned blue. So since then he was called Nilkanta Mahadev. So in this way he said that even all the demons that you have blessed, actually there's always some loop and hole there in all these demons, in all these blessings that you give to the demons. Because in this way, if these demons, if they were not to appear in these pastimes of Krishna, then who would have known how Krishna is Paritranaya Sadhanam Vinashnaya Chadishkritam? Who would have known that Krishna is the deliverer of the devotees and killer of all the miscreants? So therefore you arranged to give blessings to all these demons. And so he glorified Lord Shiva in so many different ways. And Lord Shiva said, it's true what you have said, but if you see, actually Krishna has given me this thankless job because he saw that except me no one could do this. Because I myself am so fallen, Lord Shiva said. Because I'm always in the mode of ignorance, this tamogun, I'm predominating deity in this mode of ignorance. Therefore he saw that no one is more suitable to perform this task than me. Therefore he told me to drink this poison when this ocean was being churned. And then we know that after Lord Shiva drank the poison, then what happened? Lakshmi herself appeared from that churning of the ocean. And then she was taken away by Narayan. And then we see that so many incarnations of Bhagavan, they appeared during this pastime. First, Krishna appeared as Ajit, and his 1,000 arms, he held the Mandarachal mountain. And then Kurmadev appeared, and his mountain was placed on his back. And then we see that Dhanvantari appeared. And then we see when Mohini, she appeared from the churning of the milk ocean. His nectar was given to everyone. So in this way, so many different incarnations of Bhagavan appeared. But who drank this poison first? And who made this pastime happen? Manifest in the first place? It was Lord Shiva himself. If it wasn't for him, then how would even Bhagavan appear? With all these different incarnations. So in this way we see that Lord Shiva is always making the foundation ready. He's always making everything ready for any of Krishna's incarnations to appear, not just Krishna himself. And then we see in Ram Leela also, we see that he taught his own Shakti, Sati Devi, how to worship Ram. We see that Sati Devi, we just heard like yesterday, that Parvati, she wanted this nice palace to be built. She said, oh, I'm living here in this Kailash, where it's always so cold, and we are surrounded by all these associates of yours. We have no proper place to stay. But then he himself had Vishwakarma built a very nice palace made of gold in Lunga. But then what happened? Ravan, he took everything away. He performed everything as a priest, performed all that was needed, and then finally, as Dakshina, final offering, he took the entire island away, Lanka. And then this way we see that Ravan, after having Lanka for himself, he started doing so many things. He started taking away all the women for himself, he started doing everything. Even ultimately, we see that he took the blood away of all the sadhus, and then from that blood, Sita Devi was born. So in this way we see that Ravan, he played a very important part for Sri Ramchandra to descend. And then who provided the platform for this? It was Shiva Thakur himself, because he was the one who gave Ravan the opportunity to start doing all these atrocities in the first place. Because if he had not received this island of Lanka from him, then where would Ravan even have a place to stay in? He didn't have a place to stay in. Only after receiving this place, then he started doing all his nonsense activities. So in this way, Shiva Thakur, he set the platform, foundation. And then we see how he even corrected his wife, Parvati Devi or Sati Devi. She had some doubt, thinking that how can Ram be our Prabhu when he's weeping in separation from his wife like this? How can he be our Prabhu? Even Garuda, he had the same doubt. Garuda, when Ram and Lakshman were bound by this Nagpash of Indrajit. Indrajit, he shot this snake-like weapon, and these snakes, they bound both Ram and Lakshman, they became unconscious. So then all the Vanaras, all the associates there, they're all thinking, how can we protect them now? What to do? So then Naradashi appeared there. And he said, we pray to Garuda. As soon as Garuda will appear, these snakes will see him and they'll run away. So then they all prayed to Garuda. And then Garuda, he appeared. And as soon as Garuda appeared there, all these snakes, they ran away in fear. So then Garuda had a doubt in his mind also. So Garuda was thinking, oh, how can he be God, my Prabhu? If these snakes are so terrified of me and they just fled in fear, then how come he became unconscious just by being bound by them? Doesn't make sense. So then Garuda, he went to Lord Shiva and he had this doubt. And Lord Shiva told him, if you want your doubt to be removed, then go to Kakbhushandi, he said. So this was like very humbling for Garuda, because Garuda is like the king of birds. And Kakbhushandi, as we know, he is in the form of a crow. So how can he possibly instruct? He who is the king of birds. But still, Lord Shiva told him, go there, listen from him. And this way Garuda, he went and listened from Kakbhushandi. He said Kakbhushandi removed all his doubts away. Similarly, here also we see that Sati had a doubt in her mind, saying that Ram is weeping in separation from his wife. But how am I to know that he is Bhagavan himself? So then she went and tested Ram. She assumed the form of Sita and she went and tested him. And then anywhere Ram would go weeping, she'd appear in front of him as Sita. But Ram would turn his head away. And then finally he'd say, oh my mother, what are you doing here? Where is your Prabhu? Where is Shiva Thakur? Finally she realized what she had done. And then she went and she lied. She didn't even speak the truth. She said, oh, I believe whatever you say. But then Lord Shiva, within his mind, he made a pratikya, he made a vow. He made this declaration that from now, I will never look at her as my wife. Rather, I look at her as my mother. Because she has assumed the form of my mother, the universal mother, Jagat Janani Sita Thakurani. So then, now she will not even sit on my left. Now she will sit in front of me. So as soon as he made this vow in his mind, all demigods started showering flowers on him. And then immediately she asked, what happened? What have you done? What have you spoken? And then he said, from now I will never see you as my wife. Because you have assumed the form of she who is most worshipable for me. So how can I even think of you sitting on my left side, no, sit in front of me. So here we see, even during Ram Leela, Lord Shiva was teaching us how that anything which has been used in the service of Hari Guru Vaishnavas is never to be enjoyed by us. Rather, it is to be honored by us, respected by us. So in this way, we see that Lord Shiva also, how did Ravan get this name, Ravan? Before actually it was called Dashanan. So it is said that Ravan, it is said that when Lord Shiva was on his Kailash Parvat, on this mountain, then what did Ravan do? He lifted this mountain up with his arms. He was a very strong personality. But then Lord Shiva, what did he do? He pressed the mountain down on Ravan's hands. And then immediately Ravan started wailing out in pain. So since then he was called Ravan, means he who cries out in great distress. And then what did Ravan do to please Lord Shiva? He took his own intestines out and he used his intestines as a musical instrument. And then in this way, as Lord Shiva was dancing, he started playing on his intestines. And Lord Shiva was like doing his Tandav Nritya. And this way Lord Shiva was so happy with him that, oh, you've done this for me, that he blessed him. Saying, oh, you'll have like 10 heads and you'll have nectar inside your stomach and all this. And in this way, we see that ultimately, Ravan also, because of Lord Shiva's blessings, he started becoming so powerful and he started doing so many things. So in this way, we see that Lord Shiva was actually, he was inciting these demons more and more. Because unless and until the demons, unless until the demoniac activities reaches a particular point, Ram or Krishna, no one will appear. Only when they start doing so many things again and again to such a point that Krishna is bound to appear, Ram is bound to appear, only then they will appear. So that's why Lord Shiva was inciting all these demons again and again and again and again. In this way to perform all these different activities. So in this way we see in that form also as Lord Shiva himself, he was in this way fulfilling this desire of Sri Ram that he appear in this world and perform his leelas there. And then we see in Krishna Leela also, we see how he incited the demons again and the blessings he gave to the demons also. So when Narada Rishi was speaking to Lord Shiva, so that time Lord Shiva said, oh, what are you saying, Narada? If I was really so close to Krishna, then why would I bless demons? Like Jayadrat, Banasur, and all the others. But Narada Rishi said, even then there was a loop and hole in your blessings. So Jayadrat, as we know, he wanted Draupadi as his own. He wanted her to be his wife. So then when Draupadi was in the forest, he took Draupadi on his chariot and he fled away. So that time Bhima and Arjun, Narada Rishi came and told them that, oh, your wife is being taken away by the brother-in-law of Duryodhana. Because Duryodhana's younger sister, Dushala, she was married to Jayadratha. So in this way, Bhima and Arjun, they chased Jayadratha. And then they got him down from the chariot and then they wanted to beat him to death. But then Yudhishthira said, no, don't do this. The offense has been committed to Draupadi, not to any of you. So ask her what should be done with him. So Draupadi said that since he is the husband of our sister, I don't want my sister to be a widow, so let him go. So then what did they do? Arjuna, he shaved all his head and left five parts of his, he left five strands of hair on his head and he sent him away. This way, Jayadratha was very embarrassed because in one way, death would have been worse for him. Death would have been better for him. So he was very dishonored. So then what did Jayadratha do? He went and he started performing all his austerities to please Lord Shiva. So when Lord Shiva appeared to him, then Jayadratha said, please give me this benediction that I can defeat all the Pandavas, even kill them. But Lord Shiva, that's not possible, he said. I can never do anything like that. Then he said, even if I cannot kill them, at least give me some benediction that I can defeat them in battle for some time at least. Then Lord Shiva said, all right, except for Arjuna, you can defeat the other Pandavas at one particular time that you choose. So then we hear that when Abhimanyu was surrounded by all the Kauravas, then we know that Arjuna, he was taken away. Arjuna was distracted. And when all the four tried to enter into this Chaturvyuha, into this military formation, they couldn't because of the benediction that Lord Shiva had given to Jayadratha. So then we know Abhimanyu, he was killed. So this way Jayadratha felt he was invincible. But the loophole given in the benediction by Lord Shiva was that he would only die if anyone would cut his head, and as and when his father would be offering like his oblations to the sun god, if his head would fall into his father's hands, only then he would die. So then Jayadratha was thinking, how is this even possible? Why will my father even catch hold of my head? And who will even have the courage to cut my head off my body? So he was very confident. So then we know that Arjuna was so angry at Jayadratha that he said that before the sun sets, I make this vow that I'll kill Jayadratha, and if I cannot, I'll enter into the fire. So on that day of the Mahabharata war, all the Kauravas, they had only one agenda, one plan, that was to protect Jayadratha at any cost. So in this way, they all surrounded his chariot, and they all started repelling Arjuna's attacks. In this way, the sun was setting. So then Arjuna, he knew that now he had to enter the fire. So what did Krishna do? He took his Sudarshan Chakra and he covered the sun with his Sudarshan Chakra. He made it seem that the sun had set. Then everyone, all the Kauravas became so happy. And now Arjuna has to enter into the fire now. Then Jayadratha also was so happy. He got down from his chariot and he started dancing in great ecstasy. And immediately Krishna took his Sudarshan Chakra away and he said, now release your arrow. Now use your Gandhi. And immediately Arjuna released his arrow and cut off Jayadratha's head. And Jayadratha's head fell into the hands of his father, who was like doing his sandhya. And immediately he looked at it and just dropped it into the water. And then immediately he was burned to ashes and his son Jayadratha was also burned to ashes. So in this way we see there's always some loop and hope. We see there was one more demon called Salva in Dwarka, in Krishna Lila. So Salva, he was very envious of Krishna. So what did he do? Every day he would perform his austerities there in the mountains, and he'd take some ash and he'd eat it. He'd take a handful of ash and he'd be eating it every day. So in this way, seeing his austerities, Shiva appeared to him. And he said, oh, what do you seek? And he said, I want to defeat all the Dwarkavasis. So then Lord Shiva said, I don't think that is possible, but still, I'll give you some benediction that I'll give you this plane, this celestial plane, in which you can accommodate as many soldiers as you possibly can. And you can use this plane to attack Dwarka from all sides. So then he gave this, and he blessed him with this plane. So in this way we see that as soon as Salva received this aeroplane, he started attacking Dwarka from all sides. And Pradyumna and all the other sons of Krishna, they tried protecting Dwarka, but they could not. So it seemed that Dwarka actually would be destroyed by this demon. But then Krishna appeared, he took his Sudarshan Chakra and cut his head off. So in this way, all these demons who've been given benedictions by Lord Shiva, they are only serving to enhance these leelas of Krishna. Because if these demons wouldn't have appeared in the first place, and if these leelas wouldn't have even taken place, how would we be discussing them to this day? How would we have been even listening to them up until this day? So therefore we see the Lord Shiva being the predominating deity of this mode of ignorance. Sometimes he incites these ignorant demons to come forward and perform this task of making Bhagavan appear. And this way we see in Mahaprabhu's Leela also, we see that Kuver Pandit, who is the associate of Lord Shiva, god brother of Lord Shiva, he had actually prayed, he and his wife, they had prayed to Sadashiv. This is mentioned by Kavi Karnapur in Gaurgana Desh Deepika, that they had prayed to Sadashiv, that please become our son. So then Sadashiv said, this is not possible in this lifetime, but when Krishna will appear as Mahaprabhu, then I will become your son. So then we see that Lord Shiva, he came to be known as Sadashiv. Sadashiv came to be known as Advaita Acharya, the son of Kuver Pandit and Navadevi. And we see that even after Mahaprabhu left, Advaita Acharya stayed for 125 years. Means even after Mahaprabhu left, he stayed for so many more years. Why? Because if Bhagavan himself would have left this world, then the entire world would have undergone pralaya, devastation. So what did Advaita Acharya do? Because he is Lord Shiva himself, he stayed for so many more years and he made sure that this world will be safe and sound, that nothing will happen. And then this way he made sure that the next generation of devotees, like Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Thakur, Shyamananda Prabhu, they would all appear and they would all be trained and then carry on the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, as Advaita Acharya, Lord Shiva is giving us this container that can hold this brain. And then we know in Krishna ultimately who is he? He is Gopishwar Mahadev himself. And as Gopishwar Mahadev, what is he doing? He is giving everyone the adhikar. to enter into the Rasa Leela, to enter into these pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and serve them there. So this is his greatest service to Krishna Leela. Because we know that Madhurya Bhav, the sentiment of conjugal love, this pleases Krishna the most, more than anything else. So what does he do? He is making all the jivas ready. He is giving them this qualification to serve them in the Rasa Leela of Shri Radha and Krishna. So in this way he is serving Ram, Krishna, Mahaprabhu in so many different leelas. And not just Ram, Krishna and Mahaprabhu also. All the other incarnations of Krishna, he is serving them. And in this way, he is also freeing us from all these anarthas. Now, whatever ignorance we have, there are so many different forms of ignorance that we have in our hearts. Like Hridaya Daurbalya, and there's Asat Trishna, there's Aparad, there's so many other things that Vishwanath Thakur has described. So who will remove all these anarthas of it? It's He. So we're praying to Him, He will make our hearts pure. And such a platform will be made for Krishna to appear in our hearts, for Mahaprabhu to appear in our hearts. Then we'll know who Ramchandra is, who Krishna is, who Mahaprabhu is. This way he performs his invaluable seva to all the incarnations of Bhagavan and to Bhagavan himself. Manchapa, Vishnu,